Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the Last Epoch dev stream. As always, I'm your host, Mike, and let's hop right in. I realized my microphone wasn't muted as I pulled the headset arm lever down. So that was probably pretty loud, I'm sorry. That's okay, let's get going. If this is your first time here, welcome, glad to have you with us. Please put at Last Epoch Game in the question if you have one for me in chat, and I'll be happy to answer it. Just hang out, we play some Last Epoch, and answer some questions. That's about all it is here. Turn this down a touch. I'm feeling good today. I am feeling real good today. We're not going in there though. Our build's a little wet noodly still. We're on the hunt for a better weapon. I think that's the key thing we're missing right now. As always, we also stream for charity, and as the first stream of the month, we do have a new charity here. International Association for Suicide Prevention is our monthly charity, so all the proceeds from the stream go to that, which is great. Ooh, give me those shards. Well, attribute shard. Yes, please. I love Meteor. Alright, we got a question here. How's work coming along? The rubber banding issues. How's your day? I don't have a daily update on the rubber banding issues. But I know that a big part of it is just server optimization in general, which is always being heavily worked on. So, in progress. We're going to go with Airweird. Thank you very much for resub. That's 10 months in a row. That's incredible. I feel like there may be like a gap in the middle there. It might be more than that total, but yeah. Very cool. Very cool. My day's also going pretty good today. I'm gonna go on a little mini road trip with the little one. Take the kid to go see grandma. Did we already do this? I think we already did this.
Welcome, traveler.
Yeah, we already did this. I get mixed up. I get so confused. Oh, and YY Burmaster. Resub 2 months in a row. Thank you very much. Glad to have you with us. Hope you're having fun. Hope you're enjoying yourself. I hope it's sunny. I hope it's like 23 and sunny. If you like that temperature. It's my favorite. Celsius, just to be clear. 23 Fahrenheit sucks. Alright, was a pinnacle in the announcement today. I'm not sure what that means exactly. Today was, the announcement that we had today was a, just a little teaser stream, just a little teaser video. We can watch it, let's watch it, eh? What do you guys say? Huh? Is that... Actually, I'm gonna leave that in the chat. If you want to see it, I guess you just watch it on your own. Probably be easier making everyone watch who's already watched it. If you want to watch it, here it is in chat. Yeah, just a little teaser, just to show some upcoming stuff that's coming into the game. But was there a pinnacle? Like, was there a teaser of a pinnacle boss in that announcement? No, there wasn't. Alright, I get a lot of great exalted maces. What character should I be using them with? I mean, there's room for maces on lots of different characters. Maybe as an offhand on a sentinel. Which I know you can't actually put in your offhand, but you put in your main hand and use it like an offhand, because it doesn't matter which is in your main and off slots. But I mean, depends what the stats are. You know, like there's lots of different places you can use it. Alright, what's the coolest release mastery and why is it Warlock? I like the upcoming masteries that are not out yet. They've each got something really unique and cool and interesting about them that's different, that we haven't seen before. It's a new mechanic. It's just different and new and cool. And a lot of times different is a really big part of it. But they're yeah, it's kind of interesting stuff that we tried to make work on other classes before, or tried to implement before, and just didn't quite have the tech for it, things like that. But I think I'm most excited about Falconer, personally. We've been working a lot on Rune Master lately, so I am really hyped on Rune Master personally, just because that's what we've been working on lately. We actually just combined 2 skills into one and added another new skill. Sometimes there's moments where I'm like, I really want to say something and I just can't. About, like, Rune Master. I know it's terrible to say, I'm sorry. Just want to bring you into my pain. Alright, 10 months total, 2 months streak. Santa's wallet got plundered. Ah. Yeah, man. It's not all about the streak. Oh, it says for 10 months. It doesn't say 10 months in a row. Does it say in a row usually? Oh, it just tracks the total. Today I learned. Yeah. I've never subbed to a channel in a non-consistent streak before, is what I just realized. It's always been like, once I've started, I've never stopped and started again. It's always just been like, go until I stop, and then I stop. That's interesting. Never thought of that before. Does 0.9.1 contain anything related to the Forge Guard? I'm sure there's something in there, yeah? Nothing major. But, like, there's definitely got to be something. Like, I mean, as soon as we change the implicit value on a single sword, it's related, isn't it? You know? But yeah, there's I'm sure there's something in there. Something in there somewhere. Does the new glyph have anything to do with idols? No, it has absolutely nothing to do with idols at all. Wow, okay, there's like, I say that in such an absolute way, and I'm like, oh, you could draw a really tangential connection. No, like, apart from a super pedantic connection that you can, like, you know, like the like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon or whatever it is, where you can like connect any actor to Kevin Bacon with less than 6 jumps. It's connected like that. It's connected. But no, it's not connected. Oh, we got a big raiding party. We got a Lone Star McFluffin coming in hot. Welcome everyone from Lone Star's stream, and thank you. That's 2 full years, 24 months. Join the 2-year club. It's an exclusive club. It takes 2 years to get into. Alright, do you plan to turn quest items into actual items that go into your inventory? I think this would make the campaign a bit more immersive. Yeah, so we've talked about this a couple times. It creates some issues, and I totally agree it's more immersive. What I'd really like to see is to have us add on elements to the quest tracking here, and elements to the quest tracking here, or possibly here, where it's like you picked up this item for this quest. It's like, hand in this item, and it shows the item that you've picked up here, and it has like a proper tooltip and everything. But I'd like to see that in the quest tracking systems and not in the actual inventory. And I understand why you'd want it in the inventory, and that was our first choice for sure. There's some issues there, and like, it could be little things like you go and let's use the first item quest you get. You're in you're in council chambers, and You get the quest from Urza to go find his logbook, and then you get the follow-up quest from Artem to steal that logbook as well. And you go to Urza's lab, and you get the logbook out of the chest in the back right corner. Sorry, spoilers for the first like 20 minutes of the game. And the and then like as soon as you open the chest, you get the item added to your inventory. Nothing drops on the ground, and it's a little like, did I get it? What happened? And the quest updates, and then you go read the quest, and you're like, okay, I guess I got it. But it's kind of hard to tell where it is. There's an opportunity there where you open the chest and the item drops, and you forget to pick it up, and you just don't pick it up, and you walk away without the item at all. And we wanted to really make sure that there was no way to miss the item. So even if you like weren't sure if you got it or not, you got it. You know. And it doesn't quite communicate the fantasy of what's going on properly yet, and that is something that we would like to fix. There's a couple things with quests and items, quest rewards. We want to work some items in there because I think there's a lot of opportunities to add in specific items as quest rewards that you can pick from. So it's like pick one of these three, like you complete this quest, and it's a really common thing you see in games all the time. There's nothing revolutionary or anything, but just like completed quest pop up, like pick one of these 4 items, and we can put really specific and focused items there that might be hard to get types of items for certain builds. So we can be like, okay, like you're a rogue, you finish this quest, and there's like a really focused like physical bow item, and oh, there's a really focused lightning throwing item, which I know it doesn't really work that well, but anyways, there's like you can put like some really focused items in there that maybe have some random elements to it. So like we can say like, okay, well this item's gonna drop with, we know, these 2 affixes and like 2 other random affixes, and so there's like some randomization, some not. Things like that are things that we'd really like to include in the quest system item rewards. I know I kind of went off a tangent there, sorry, but there's room for item interaction and quest updates in general. We're not quite there yet. If you have questions, please don't forget to put at Last Epoch Game in the questions so I see it. Because things get lost in here sometimes. Has EHG team done any more work on the Warlock Mastery? Yeah, we've done some more work on the Warlock Mastery. There's yeah, not a lot's been done this week on it, but you know, recently in general, we've been working on it. So it's coming along. Did I come this way? I'm just crazy. I'm just like, I'm gonna go the wrong way. But you know what? Let's unlock Soulfire Bastion. Why not, eh?
Hey, you.
Over here, okay.
A living so far from one of the cities.
Should we try it?
Be surprised. I saw how easily you talk through our ranks.
Should we just get our butts handed to us? Because that is what would happen. I mean, are there some things we can do to like? Not really much going on here, is there? Prison rats are nice. I think they'll be better. Let's give it a shot for science, right? What's the worst that can happen? We lose a key? I feel like I must have a couple of those, right? Here's where I just like don't have any keys. Well, never mind. just kidding. We're gonna keep going to Eterra. Haha. Alright. Can you expand on the new item types? What new item types? Hi, Mike. In the future, are items for the skill shield throw possible? Yeah. Items for any skill are possible. I feel like we have some items that are shield throw centered already. Could be wrong. Is this? Okay, nice. Let's go. Is this? Oh, it's just a note I've got that I forgot about. Gotta get more CDR on our tooltip. Tooltip teleport. Okay, next question, Mike. When the MTX store launches, yeah, it's getting real close. I am like, I've got one bug left, and as soon as that's fixed, which I've been working all week on this one bug. Once that's fixed, it should be merged in. When it launches, we'll be able to buy stable server upgrades. Any cool Monolith changes in 9.1? No. Yes. Sorry. Yeah, I'm a fool. There we go. Did I just walk back down the same way again and get stuck in the exact same spot? Where is it? How do I go there? Did I miss something? Right. Yeah. There's some little monolith changes stuff happening. Nothing like groundbreaking or like paradigm altering, but you know, like, there's a little bit happening. Some touches. I've actually teased some of it already on past streams. Are you planning to do some changes to the auto aim feature, maybe on off toggle, and making some skills really bad, like detonating arrow or arrow shards? I don't know what's going on with this at all right now. I know it's something that people are talking a lot about. It seems like a reasonable thing to have. There might be some sort of technical reason why having a toggle doesn't work. I don't know. I'm sorry. Okay. Can you comment at all on when we can hope for ladders to be enabled again pre 1.0? Yeah, pre 1.0 for sure. Are they this patch? Ooh, they might be next patch. Are they? I'm sorry, I can't remember if they're this patch or next patch. But yeah, they're pre 1.0. I think they're this patch. Should have things like this written down. I've gone the wrong way again. It's quite lovely. Almost went the wrong way again. I really should just step back through there. A little XP maybe. We should let's okay, come on. Stop it. Okay. Oh, I already have that all full. Oh, that's not good. Step up duration. That's good. This way? Yep. Yeah, it's chain. Let's get some chain on. Any chance of a gamble system for monoliths, like sacrifice a piece of gear to increase difficulty and get a better reward? You know, kinda. Not in the way you're thinking. Any new uniques to tease today? No, I don't have any new uniques to tease today. We usually do uniques. Like, new uniques get added so close to patch day. It's crazy. That's one of those things that generally doesn't require a ton of testing to get functioning nicely, usually. Not always, usually. Individual, they're fairly self-contained. It's fairly easy to test, like, this one item, especially if it's a class-specific item, you know, especially if it's like really going to be used almost exclusively with a single ability, which a lot of items are. So yeah, it's they go in quite late. Happy Friday, HG. Glad to be here. Thank you. Glad that you're here too. Hanging out, having some fun. I do love these streams. It's always a highlight of my week. Hang out. Alright, how do you guys feel about how Monolith Echo modifiers work right now? Is it possible we'll see a rework in the system, or maybe change the modifiers or something? So as this, if we're talking about just like the system as a whole, I think it's fantastic. I think that it is something that lets you pick your challenge. You know, like you kind of have to decide is this something that I can do on this character? It lets you avoid certain modifiers that are not ideal for your character, and I think the system's fantastic. Now, I also like to acknowledge that some people are frustrated by specific modifiers and the perception that it becomes mandatory to take them in order to get the reward that you want, which it does become mandatory to get the reward you want. But that's the point of a challenge. It's hard, right? I think there's if there wasn't some of them that were really difficult for different builds, depending, it would be a shallow system, which is not something we're striving for. But thanks for the feedback, which is what I feel like is happening there a little bit. But if you want to leave feedback for the game, please do so on the forums or the Discord, in the feedback sections of each. Maybe there's a specific one you really want to see leave the game because you think it's just bad for gameplay. Oh, don't stand in the water. It's like standing in the fire, just worse. Speaking of, drink lots of water. Cheers. Are there any plans to reduce the effectiveness of the elemental damage over time affix? Not that I know of. Same comment about feedback. Treasure goblins coming. No, there's no treasure goblins coming this patch. I would love to add treasure goblins. I know I use that as like an example so much when I talk about like unexpected mechanics in Monolith and things like that. It's just sort of the go-to example I use. So it's like, oh, they're gonna have. It's reasonable to expect us to do something like that because I use that as an example so much. But no, it's not coming right now. It's I'd like to. I think it's a very like it's a straightforward mechanic. I think it's gonna end up, and if it hasn't already, become a staple of the genre in general. Fools! Why didn't they listen to me? The fools! Ice Barrage. I really like Ice Barrage. That was one of my favorite skills to make. Playing around with the homingness of it. We set up just like fields of different configurations of test dummies, and then like testing homing with that was a lot of fun. And like seeing how they curved and changing values to be like, okay, what does this do? What does that do? And you know, like you get inverse homing. Inverse homing's funny because it like just starts. It tries to like avoid things. So you set like an obstacle course up of like test dummies all over the place, and you put really strong inverse homing, and you like fire it off and like see if any of them can like get out of the maze. It's a lot of fun. Right. Any set item changes coming this patch? No, not this patch. We do have a plan for some set item changes. We haven't had a chance to implement it yet. And that's a pretty set item systematic change. But once we're a little more confident in having tested that and everything, we'll be more interested in sharing that. It's a problem that we're working on. It's something that we know is really important to get right. Yeah, it's extremely on the list. Any design progress on making set items exciting to see to drop / interesting as unique and exalted? Yes. See previous question. Ellie is a great crafting system, and sets have no interaction with it. Yeah, like uniques don't really have any interaction with it either. Okay, it's not true. They kind of do in the sense that you craft an item to make the legendary. So yeah, I guess they do. But yes, don't worry. Don't worry. You'll be happy. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. All right. Highlight of my week. When your weekend starts? Yep, mine too. Yeah, it's this I guess it's not really about weekend starting. So I actually really enjoyed the weekday as well, which is weird. I just really like playing the game and hanging out with you guys. That's all. Hi Mike, Judd mentioned in his interview with Ziz that he feels a sort of plateau once skills max out at 20, but there are plans to smooth that out and once further progression for skills beyond that. Any specific ideas that could be discussed on the subject? No, I'm surprised he said that. I didn't actually watch that that clip. I'm surprised he mentioned that. But yeah, there's we do have something in the works that will that we do plan to implement that will just taking your word for it that he said this, you can just like shot in the dark and I'm like, yeah, it's true. Yes, there is a plan to alter the progression curve on skills and how that unlocks and progresses into endgame. We probably don't even need that. I'm not going to use it. It's in concept phase still. But it's going to be good, I think. Did that meteor just do 666 damage? I think it did. Alright. Next question. Oh, any specific ideas that can be discussed on that subject? No, I can't discuss specifics on it, sorry. Will we get more monsters that have you think about how to handle them, like how dolls or souls did in D2? Just to be clear, are you asking for dolls and souls right now? Is that what's happening? Maybe? I actually weirdly like dolls. I'm not a big fan of souls, to be honest, though. Thank you for the sub. Oh, I'm gonna butcher this name. You ready, guys? As Hidahaka. As Hidahaka. As Hidahaka. That's what I'm going with. Last one. Nailed it. First try. As far as more enemies coming with like more unique interactions, yes, I think that's safe to say that we're going to be bringing that in. And as we make new enemies, we do try to bring in some more advanced mechanics, especially into the later game systems where like maybe there's enemies that work well, that synergize really well together. So like there's really basic examples of this, and I'll use D2 as another example of this. And it's like right at the very start, you start fighting Fallen, right? And it's great, and it's easy, and they die pretty quick, and you know they're you get used to killing Fallen and some zombies, you know, in there too. And then you get into Cold Plains or down into the Den of Evil, and there are the shamans, and suddenly the Fallen you're killing are getting resurrected, and you kind of have to change up your gameplay pattern. It's a really simple interaction, and then you, for the first time, you spend that a little bit of time with, you know, like having a shaman constantly resurrecting a Fallen that you're just killing over and over again, and you're like, oh, am I gonna get more loot, more experience forever? Can I stay in the forest killing boars? Nope, you can't deal with it. Anyways, I think there's, it's a nice ring. I think there's room for more interesting interactions between enemies like that we can place in the world. And I heard a pitch for an enemy just yesterday that I thought sounded really cool, that had some more complex mechanics, some more interesting mechanics that would be require some thought to interact with, lest you pop like a doll. Gerald Lotham. Also, Butch, I'm just like fresh meat on all of these names. You know, let's go. How's it going? Thanks for the sub. Glad to have you here. Let's drink some water. Judd mentioned new item types since this is an interview. Thought you might know more detail. New item types. Context? Like I'm sure there's like some new, like a new sword subtype coming, you know, that sort of thing. I don't know if it's actual sword, but like I bet there's some new item subtypes coming. That might be what I meant. There's probably some new unique items. That might be what I meant. I know there's one glyph, which I've mentioned previously. Maybe that's what he meant. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the context is. And he may not have been referring specifically to the upcoming patch as well. Ow. I didn't look down and see if Landlord was on cooldown, but it's fine. Alright, well, does it involve operating the base item of the set item? No, it does not. Hi Mike, hi Aaron, how you doing? How's it going? Will sets still stay small in size, like how they are now, or could we see some bigger leveling sets like Saigon size 1? I think that with the changes coming to how unique, what legendary items collect their levels for scaling, I think it's more likely that we'll see people making their own leveling sets. Not sets necessarily, but leveling gear sets. Wasn't meaning set items like green, but they'll be making leveling gear that way if you're going to like make leveling gear. Changes coming to set items could lend itself to better leveling experiences with set items, but I don't think that we'll see like a 5+ piece set in Last Epoch anytime soon. It's possible that we could add one. I think there would have to be a really good reason for it. It's just so much of, like, let's look at the gear set for a second here. We actually have more gear than D2 does, don't we? because we have the relic. Is that right? Like crazy second guessing myself right now. D2 paper doll. That's a D3 paper doll. Why are you giving me a D3 paper doll? I said D2. What? Why is ruining everything? Yes, okay, I'm right. Okay, good. Yes, we have one more slot than them because we have a relic slot. It's the potions. I'm like, what? I couldn't remember what goes where our boots are. I just couldn't remember what was sitting there in the inventory. I'm like, there's a big gap there, isn't there? It's potions. Okay. Anyway, so yes, there's. It's way fewer than D3 though, because you don't have shoulders or pants. And they had more 6-piece sets. I think that there's, once we get into sets that are in that 5-6 range, it's cutting off so much. Like, it's cutting off half your gear. Like, just draw a line right there, and like imagine that like either the bottom half or the top half was just a single set. Like, that's half your gear. And maybe it's possible. And like you say, with a leveling set, it would be probably a better use for it, because you're not really like switching your gear in and out as you're leveling. So maybe if it was like a set of gear that all like, you know, Hammer of Lorent that scales off your level and things like that, I can see that. It has to be really generic is kind of the problem though. And Saigon's is super generic, and it is sweet. I think maybe. Let's see the changes to set items first before we go down that road though. Yeah? All right. Is Arena Ladder coming back to 0.91? And also, what about resonances? 0.91 ladder, I'm pretty sure yes. Resonances, I don't think so. I haven't seen anything about resonances yet. Unless she snuck those in and I just didn't even notice, which they might have. Something they would do. I just got to the outrage over the doll comment. She planned some minor changes to the loot filter so that we have more specific in the rules. As a, so I think there's room for some expansion of rule sets in the filter. Yes, there's certain things that we've intentionally excluded from the loot filter that I think will continue to be excluded. I don't have an exact answer to the exact example you gave here, but I would say there's a good chance we will be expanding it in some way that could include what you are looking for. Super vague, right? All right. Hi, I love game. I'm guessing you asked this a lot, maybe, but are there plans for auto looting? No. It would be awesome to have gold materials auto pick. Well, gold is already. And maybe even an option to loot filter to auto pick up certain items. No. Auto picking up items, like loot filter to auto pick up items. No. Materials. We have this debate every few months. It comes up. And there'll be like usually it's on the heels of a large swell of player base growth. Like we'll release some major content. There's a swell in player base. We'll get a ton of people asking for auto picking up materials. We'll take their comments. We'll take the feedback there. We'll have a big meeting specifically about it. We'll discuss it. We'll debate it. We'll come out with our what we want, and we'll sort of go from there. And that's happened. That cycle's happened 3 or 4 times now, I think. Most recently, just after the release of 0.9. I can read you sort of our current statement on the matter. So I'll read this again. I read this a few times, but this is our current statement on the topic. We believe that it is important for the feel of the game loop to have enemies fairly frequently drop items that you want to take an active action to pick up, but which you do not have to take time to inspect to work out whether it's good for you. However, there are times where it feels bad at the moment, especially when it's just one shard. So we're planning to have them drop slightly less frequently and in larger groups on average. We're also planning to add more of a sink for your shards if you don't want, so that it feels less futile to have to pick up shard when you aren't planning to use it and already have hundreds of. So there's some small changes to the system coming that we hope will make it feel better to use in general. And we'll keep looking at feedback after that and see what people think about it. The game's constantly evolving, and we're constantly re-looking at old systems as it evolves and things like that. But at least for now, that's all we're doing. No two-handed daggers. Isn't that a sword? Question mark? Belt never upgraded their item type. Belts never upgraded their item type. Huh? Judd said the entire stream the entire stream to get stuff out of Mike. Ouch! Oh no! Oh no! I'm sorry. I had no idea. Can you explain what the new updates coming on the 25th of May includes? I don't have a big list of details and things I can share with you right now on what the 25th is going to be. This was a teaser trailer, and then we'll be following that up with some more content closer to the date. So it's 20 days from now until launch, so 3 weeks roughly. And usually there's a bit of a lead up to patch where we have a bunch of teasery posts and things like that. So I would keep an eye out for information on our socials, Discord, Reddit, forums, website, Facebook, Twitter. I'm assuming I don't use them, so I don't know. I assume we must post to those things, right? We must. That'd be insane if we didn't. I'm just a weirdo. I know that, it's fine. Ichiboto! Thank you. Welcome. Hope you're having fun. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Appreciate the sub. And just go through the spiel again. Streams for charity, new charity this month, up above my head. Do any questions, put out Last Epoch game in the question in chat so I see it, just in case. If you're asking one, if you see me answer a question that was after yours and you know that I missed it, just repost it because I'm not gonna go back. I'm sorry. When will Spriggan form get a movement skill? I'm sorry, I don't know. As some shards are insanely common, do you think an option to say tick a box, use 10 shards instead of 1, for example, chance to crit success or something could make it into the game? No, because it's an so there's all these different things that are multiplying together to have the chance of having an item that is, let's say, an 80% item, so an item that is 80% of the maximum power, and there's a whole bunch of different things that get basically chances to get multiplied together to say, like, this is the chance of it happening, here you go. And if we say you can modify that chance pretty heavily by just dumping more resources into it, it puts an additive modifier on a multiplicative chance, and it can cause some problems. We're probably more likely going to be taking a, because the other thing that doesn't solve is it also doesn't solve, say you're like, I play rogues, I only ever play rogues, period. Okay, and you have this like it's increased void damage sitting over here, and you're like, well, I can't do anything with that because I never use void damage because there's no void damage on rogues. There might be a tiny bit somewhere. Anyways, point is, that still doesn't solve that because you're not using any of those as well. So we're going to be looking more like it as a there's still probably a vendor somewhere that'll have, this is not next patch for the record, but eventually there will be we're planning on having a vendor somewhere that's just like, oh, I've got these like super rare shards for sale, and they cost 10 of any one shard to buy, or something like that, you know. So you're just trading in shards for like ones you don't use for ones you do use. It'll also kind of create this weird thing where like suddenly items that are just awful but have just like a bajillion affixes on them as they naturally drop suddenly are useful to pick up, which would be kind of funny. But I think you'll still be picking up ones that have specific shards you want more. Falconer when it's ready 1.0. Voice. Do you have a timeline for when NTX will be added? Only asks I would 100% buy some sick looking gear. Yeah. As far as I'm aware, the plan is to put it in next patch. There's one big bug that we're still working on. And as soon as that gets over the finish line, should be good to go. It's so frustrating, right? I need to just tell you what it is. Right now, when you buy epoch points or cosmetic coins, whatever we're calling them now, they're like the thing you use to buy actual MTX in the store. When you buy the currency, it doesn't update that you've bought the currency in the game until you either restart the game or buy something else. It's quite frustrating. The worst part is that because we have to use the Steam overlay to test it, you can't run Steam overlay in the editor. You have to run Steam overlay in a built version of the game through Steam. So in order to see if I ever make a change, in order to test that change, I have to make a full build. It's so frustrating. So instead of like there being 15 minutes in between being like, okay, let's check something and having checked it or not, it's like 3 hours. At least I have stuff to do in the meantime when it's building. Alright, XP Monolith echoes. XP reward is useless when you level... I assume this means when you level 100. Or something, yeah. Do you plan to replace it with something when character reaches level 100? No, they're not useless, and no, we don't plan to at the moment. But if you'd like to suggest something or leave feedback on that, please head on to the forums. What if on set items you get a version of every possible slot of gear? Maybe it requires to wear 3 to 5 pieces of gear that is some flexible. Sorry, I don't quite understand the suggestion, but we're going in a different direction, I think. Will the secret B level be in 9.1? Oh, maybe in 9.1. A little ways off, though, don't you think? I'm just going the wrong way. Am I just a crazy person? What? Didn't we come this way? Did I go through the wrong transition at some point? Am I just a crazy person? What's going on? Where am I? What year is it? What is going on? I thought I was going the right way, and then like the dot took me back. It's been so long since I've gone through this ship, apparently. Gotta focus on actually playing the game, apparently. I'm a special butterfly, leave me alone. It's okay. Ooh, I want those. Ooh, I want those. Thank you. Extra media for good luck. Love being able to cast so far away. Ooh, give me those FXs. I saw lots of health in there. Are there any plans to change monoliths and remove the scaling of modifiers of the corruption instead of making corruption more impactful for the player? No, that's a pretty massive change. But if you have a suggestion, please head on over to the forums, leave a suggestion there. Will the loot filter have a rule to show items with a certain forging potential? That's one of those things I was talking about earlier that we probably won't be adding in. We're just gonna let him pop. First thing I want with loot filter is to remove affixes that doesn't exist on a selected item type. Is this possible? Probably not. That's another one of the things we probably won't be adding in. Mike! Hi, Llama. How's it going? Nothing wrong with being a weirdo? Thank you. Discovery. The ship will be our tomb? Too bad I don't intend to die.
The immortal empire shows no mercy.
No mercy, eh?
Get off my ship, mortal.
They just said it'd be my tomb! Did it say doom and I just didn't hear it right? I got terrible hearing.
Who defied the emperor is dead.
Just watched the D&D movie last night. It's good. Enjoyed it. It was very predictable, but I didn't care at all. The whole time I'm just like, this is gonna happen next. My wife is beside me, she's like, oh, this is gonna happen next for sure. Like, yep.
Break yourself upon my body.
No, thank you. Alright, let's get a question while I'm doing this. As a newer player, why is there a transfer crafting materials button in your inventory instead of crafting materials going to the forge, since the only other place that can be used? It's a long story. It's a really long story. I'm a little tired of telling it, to be honest. But I'll give you the TLDR version. Basically, it's kind of what I was talking about earlier about having active actions to be taking. We really like having them be items. And you know, you pick up an item, it goes to your inventory. That's kind of it, really. All right, next question. Has there ever been a discussion about a rune that would change the base type of an item randomly? Yes, we've definitely talked about that. Please note that it's still not in the game, intentionally.
You'll have to be easy. The best time to learn is now.
Let's go swimming. If you ever make a modding tool, modding toggle for offline, it better be there is no B level. But what if we added one and then it would just be a lie? The B level could be a lie.
Washed up state seems where the problem is.
I'm sure we'll see you again, bud. I know it's a long way off, maybe a long shot, but are there any plans for Twitch drops or Twitch rewards? Yeah, I think that would be I think there's a good chance that we'll look at adding something like that eventually. We haven't looked into it yet, so we don't really know what the requirements are and any of that stuff. But yeah, I think it's a cool way to get people to engage with the game, even if they're like maybe away from their computer or maybe they're just wanting to play something else at the same time, but still have some engagement, that sort of thing. And it's I think it helps content creators as well, which are fantastic for us and all that sort of stuff. Just to be clear, it would still be cosmetic only stuff. We wouldn't put power items in there. Which I hope is the expected stance for something like that from us at this point. But I like to clarify just in case. You resist fire, don't you? Okay, let's get come on, let me in. How do I I want in. This is just the other era, isn't it? Yeah. Is the ladder coming in 0.91? I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure it is, right? It's coming, right? Yeah. Does corruption item rarity magic find directly affect the rarity of drops from unique item echo rewards? I think it increases the quantity of them that you find. Oh, I always get this wrong. I think it increases the quantity of them that you find. Maybe this distance from center that increases the quantity of them that you find. Reimer, if you're still in chat, can you answer that one? I think you know. Alright. Now that the launch date for patch 9.1 is announced, are you going to take a week off to play Diablo 4? No. Too much work to do. I'll take a week off when I've got lots of time. Please don't forget to put at Last Epoch game in the question so I see it pop up. Any campaign boss changes for 0.91 that make them actually a challenge and do damage? Yes, there's at least one campaign boss that's getting a complete and massive rework in every way. Untradeable items, affix shards. Yes. Campaign skip sounds great. I don't know when I said that. If only end up at end of time mastery, so you can choose to start mono or get bonus idle stats passive. Oh, this was trying to draw my attention to a question. Is what that was. Okay, let me go look at the question that it was. This is a question that didn't ping me, I'm assuming. Likely I'm gonna do like, nah. I might be able to craft that into something not terrible. Let's take a look at this thing. How do I jump back to that question? Mike, in the near future, will there be an option to skip the campaign once you already have completed it so you can focus on the end game? We don't plan on anything like that specifically, no. If you're unaware, the dungeons are campaign skips. if you complete a dungeon, at the end of it, you are spat out significantly further along in the campaign than when you started. If I had a Soulfire Bastion key, we could go do Soulfire Bastion right now. Was it Soulfire? Yeah. We should have access to Lightless Arbor by now, actually, shouldn't we? I could go do that one. Wouldn't be much of a skip, though, at this point. It would actually be backwards in time. Those campaign skips are not... they're not great yet, especially not without some serious gear. The first version of them usually is a little too hard to get through on a character that is just getting to there naturally, especially if you're an experienced player and you're rushing. So with the changes that we are planning eventually for level requirement changes to legendary items created, that should be a tool for making those a lot easier for players that are on their 3rd, 4th, 100th campaign run. And then there was also some talk, some changes to the actual level 1 versions of some of the dungeons themselves to make them more conducive to that type of encounter in general. I think there was there was a suggestion I heard that I liked, and I don't know if it was from the community or not, but I did like it, and I don't know if we've talked about it. I think we probably haven't, but it was like having the first one just not cost a key. You know what? Let's try and make this into an okay item. Can we like chaos the throwing damage off it? Mana. Okay. Oh, this is comically sized. That's not right. I don't know how people resize things in Streamlabs, but like it's so tiny for me, and it like jumps all over the place. So you're like, oh, let me move it one tiny pixel, and it's like boom. There we go. What are we gonna put here? Elirez, health? Probably just health. Frailty's nice. Let's put some health. Excuse me. It's probably not awesome to hear. Now, is that better? The +2, the 2 flat spell lightning damage is actually amazing with Lightning Blast, which is why I want this. The shock and the spell crit's nice too. I think we might lose a little damage though. Technically, it does lose damage. We're gonna play with it and have some fun. Hello. Can I trust you? I don't think I can. But you said I could, so I'm gonna anyways. Alright, let's get back to some questions. Any plans to add a DPS calculator for skills? I mean, other than what we have already on the tooltips, no. We do tend to try and improve this to make it better, more accurate, things like that, but we do not plan to add a specific DPS, like perfect DPS. Is there a possibility of re-rolling or gambling for idols? Some of them can be sort of build defining, enabling. It would be nice if there were more options to target farm idols. There's nothing in the works right now for idols. I think that is something that we're kind of intentionally leaving as a bit of a gap for post 1.0 features. I'd say that there's a good chance that we'll see some sort of dungeon reward interacting with the acquisition of or modification of idols in the future. But I don't think we'll see that pre 1.0. All right, let's keep moving. I think we're struggling to keep up with pace a little bit here. I do go quite slow, just because it's relaxing. All right. Are you aware of how many players know about the dungeons being campaign skips? Because I feel like I totally wouldn't notice if it wasn't for Reddit or patch notes. It is one of those things that it is kind of designed to be a not your first time, not your first playthrough type of information and feature. So I think we probably don't signpost it and talk about it well enough. The plan with it really is, or the goal with it, or the hope with it is so that like you have your first character, you play through the campaign all the way through, you get to endgame, you start getting keys, you complete the dungeon with the key, and then as you complete your dungeon, you leave the dungeon and you're at a different part of the campaign and you go, oh my god, I'm further in the campaign, you know, that sort of thing. There's nothing that really explicitly tells you about it. I think that's probably a mistake. There might be like a loading screen tooltip. That might be a good thing to put there if there's not. That actually can be a decent amulet. How did that miss? How did that miss? I need to trim the old mustache a little bit. It's getting real itchy. You know what? Bye. Alright, next question as we get this loading screen. Oh, I'm also on the wrong side of the screen. Whoopsie. Right now, it feels like there are a lot more offensive skills and abilities compared to defensive skills and abilities. True. There are some which are kind of hybrid, like Warpath, where you get an extra block, but generally it feels like both skills and passives mostly revolve around offense, and then you have to figure out most of your defense via gear. Is something you might change in the future? Do you like keeping it where defense mostly come from gear? I think that a lot of times active defensive abilities can really frequently fall into a couple of categories. One the like first category that I see a lot of them fall into is just numlock trick them and just auto cast them forever type thing. I'd also argue that every movement ability is a defensive ability. Some of the best defensive abilities in the game are movement abilities. So like 1, 2, 3, those like 4. You know, those are 4 defensive abilities. You know, like, this is mostly all offensive here. You know, Rune Master has some defensive abilities in it too. I think that the second category I was talking about, like just like numlock it and always use it, or useless. Those are the 2 categories, kind of, for the most part that I see. Or movement abilities, I guess, the third category really. And it is really tricky to make an engaging, interesting, and unique defensive ability. And I think we've struggled with that in the past. But I'd like to see more of them in general. I think they're less exciting in general as well, so I think it makes sense that it is lopsided to some degree. All right, next question. So, what are you guys looking into for more time travel? I'm not going to travel to the future with guns and mechs. No, sorry. I'm like running into stuff because I'm just like not paying attention to my screen because I'm looking over here. There's like a little preview window of what I can see over on this monitor. It's bad when you take your hand off the keyboard. Okay, here we go. Getting our butts kicked. I should really do something about my gear, I think, because I'm probably still wearing like level 5 gear. Ow. Truck. We do kind of need a helmet, don't we? What am I getting at? What are you guys looking into for more time travel? Not going to travel to the future with guns or mechs. No, probably not travel with guns, mechs. So if you notice on the screen, you can zoom out and it tells you how many sub areas there are in each region of the map for that era. And you can quickly see that there's like, what, 40, another 30 or so there. Oh, there's another 30 or so there. This doesn't have any that it shows. Technically, there's a couple. You know? But, yeah, there it is. There's lots of room in the past. Lots of room in the past to explore. It's wonderful. I think we're going here, right? Yeah. Let's just go this way. Oh, keeping it simple, right? Speaking of simple, here we go. The target dummies by the arena don't seem to behave exactly like when an enemy without AI. They're not exactly like an enemy without AI. Things like Harbinger of Stars and such don't work against them. Is this intention or bug? So some of them are different than others. Are you sure it doesn't work on all of them? Because some of them should basically just be a totem with a weird amount of health regen.
Let's see, buried in the slums. She told me of the Emerald Nagasa.
Some of them should be targeted by that, I'm pretty sure. Ooh. Oh. I mean, it's actually kind of sweet. Do we just start spamming Meteor more? I mean, like, do we do this? Is the Meteor build now? Any chance we could see a new unique or set that amplifies warpath with a vortex gravity pull while warpathing? No. I mean, maybe if you got suggestions or requests, put them on the forums, but that's like... that's one of the things I jokes like, oh, yeah, a finger on the monkey's paw curls, granted. You're immobilized while warpathing. I'm pretty sure there's a node for that. Alright. Dungeon like PoE lab-esque. Kind of. ish, not really. With the addition of a rune that seals a random affix like the removal one does to remove possibly added. Would love to have so you have an RNG chance to seal T67 affix. The system's pretty intentionally set up to not be able to seal T6 and T7 affixes. It doesn't mean it's impossible to do that. Like that's the sort of thing that could happen maybe at some point. We have no plans for it. How would someone who doesn't know about skips or going straight through the monos at end of time be fair ladder competition? I feel like these two things should happen after a full playthrough of the campaign, or at least on one character should be a thing. Well, yeah, so that's the way it is right now. Is that you have to go through enough to get a key to use it, which is why I was saying we were talking about having the first one not have a key, not need to have a key. But yeah, it's kind of brutal to give that as an option if someone doesn't have it. But if you're really gonna if you're seriously gonna compete in a ladder race, like a ladder launch race, like you've got to do the there's research to be done, and some of that a huge portion of that is routing, right? So like, is it reasonable to expect someone who's planning on competing in a ladder to learn routing for that? You know, like I think it is. I think it's reasonable to expect someone to learn. If you're just like day one, bought the game, ladder start, go, I'm gonna race. Like even if you had that information available, there's no way you're gonna win. Like the experience is just gonna get from so many other angles, right? Maybe I'm completely wrong about that. I don't know. Can we add all the loading tooltips to the game guide as well? Seems like it's something new player could make good use of. Yeah, there's a little section of the game guide that says like loading screen tips. I actually like that, because then it's like, I thought I saw something about this in a loading screen, but I just can't quite remember what it said. Boom, loading screen tips. That's a great idea. You should put that in the suggestions forum, because I'll forget as soon as the stream ends in, what is it, 42 minutes? Alright. Can we add all the loading tips to the game? See, I forgot that fast. I just reread it right away. Hello, Mike. Hello. At this point, are you guys already doing balance changes for patch 0.91? Some, but not many yet. And if you are, can you say the scale of those changes? No, because I have no idea what they are, if we have started them or not. For example, if we can expect big or more shy changes. I don't know, sorry. Curious what game engine to use. We use a Unity 2019.4 2F16. I don't know what the suffix is. Unity 2019. Whatever one. There's a stable long LTS build, a long-term support build. We always try and stay on LTS builds. Unless there's a really good reason to get off of one. Will gender unlocking character creation customization be available at 1.0? Hard no. We do not have the time to implement that. Sorry. He died, where's the leak? Okay. Okay, we caught up into the point in chat where I'm back where I died. So yeah, let's get a leak. My leaks are so limited today that, you know, I gotta save them a little bit. You know, yeah, here's a cool something. What's that? You might find it related to something that was spoiled a couple weeks ago. Any chance upcoming skills or uniques will reward odd combinations of exalted items that are otherwise bad together? Scales of Eterra is a good example, or like how old Werebear Tree turned T7 spell damage staff with plus melee crit into something really useful and unique. Nothing specific like that I can think of. But I do really like that was a thing and could continue to be a thing. Alright, can we get a small UI prompt when we leave something in the forge? Not that I've ever done that. I mean, I don't see why not. Go leave a comment on our suggestions forum, please. Hey Mike, hope you and your team are well. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Enjoying life. Having a good time. Will we have an event mode or something along the lines of the old solo mode? Not being able to speedrun in online or organize events easily kind of killed the hype for 0.9 for me. Like a character found mode. Yes. I don't know when we're gonna look at something like that. So basically we had to, in order for the file saving system to structure itself nicely as multiplayer launched, and like have the time to get in what we need to get in. Our choices were change the. Also, just for the record, the offline still has that, but I know it's hard to run events offline. Our options were change the solo self-found into a way that it shares a stash with all other solo self-found characters, or remove solo self-found from the game. Those were our two options. I hope you appreciate the option we picked. Is new glyph rune coming in 0.91? I'm pretty sure there's one coming. I'm pretty sure there's a new glyph coming in 0.91. Alright, let's keep moving. Oh, I caught up. SSF confirmed? SSF's in the game already. So yes, SSF confirmed. When you're making your character, there's a solo challenge button you can pick in the last screen for character creation, right beside hardcore mode. If you missed it. Is it possible to add an option to lock minions icon on the top left based on the order of the skill bar? No. Oh, I mean, they don't. Their identifiers don't directly relate. It might be possible. Oh, it'd be such a pain. It's probably possible. If you want to leave a suggestion or request, please go to the forums and leave it there. Currently, it's a bit difficult to see who to resummon at a glance if you have multiple minions due to icons shuffling. Oftentimes, you're just trying to dodge possibilities. Yeah. It would be a lot easier just to have a fixed orientation instead of it go off of your skill bar. The problem is that like you can have the same skill in your bar multiple times, and then also you can change the order of your skill bar. So like updating the order of skills on your skill bar would have to then update the order of them in the top left as well, and they don't directly have a. I guess they do. Yeah. The icon up there doesn't actually know what ability created it. Because there's a couple abilities on the steps through. There's like a chain of abilities to make. There's a chain of abilities to create a summon. Confirmed custom minion ordered guy. You heard it here. No, I'd prefer to like set a static order for everyone myself. If I was gonna do it, just be like this minion card always shows to the left of like I don't know, summon skeletons, or like summon abomination always shows to the left of summon golem, and summon golem always shows to the left of summon skeletons, and summon skeletons always shows to the left of summon skeleton archers, and you know, that sort of stuff. Just put a priority list on it. That would be so much easier to implement. And easier is not the right way to look at that, to pick out which way you do it. Just from a greedy standpoint, because I'm like, I would have to do that, wouldn't I? Oh, no! That's bull. Ah. It's not, I just got cocky. I'm like, I can take it. Just haven't upgraded my gear in forever. And I know what you're going to say. I don't have one. Alright, is it possible to move minion icons from the top left to just left of your health bar near the bottom? No. Is the button to remove all passive points at once coming in 0.91? Not that I know of. As far as I know, it's not, this is one of those things that, like, it frequently gets, like, said that it's coming, and then we go back to a game design meeting again, and it gets turned down again. So no, there's no plans to bring it. Alright, where are we at with fixing the rogue movement issues? I don't have any details on existing bugs or the status of their fixes. Will there ever be character customization? By the way, character customization is something we would really like to add. It's not a easy thing to do. And it's very time intensive. It's very cost intensive, very time intensive. It's something that we would really like to add to the game. And I do expect us to add it at some point. It will not be a 1.0 feature, I can tell you that for certain. But I want to go that way. Also, I'm being told to show this off. Meteor, just left clicks only. Not meteor. Let's do lightning blast. The icon updating is not working there though, which is frustrating. But yeah, beauty. Do you have plans to add items with their own built-in skill trees? Maybe. There are. That's something that if you'd asked me 2 years ago, I would have said, no, we can't do that. Since then, we've discovered some things that might make it possible. Do we have any immediate plans to add one? No. Do we have any specifics on ideas to create one? No. Do I expect us to eventually? No. Oh. Oh my. Well, look at you. Aren't you interesting? Why, yes you are. I think we'll have to say hello. Lovely. I actually don't want that freeze rate. Fire res? Yeah, we'll take fire res. Not ideal, but we'll take it. I think that's an improvement. Yeah. Just because I always love doing this. Yeah, replace the piece. Shatter the old one. Gotta shatter the old one, right? Sneak us a little Rune Master. Gameplay for that Death Gnome will know. I would know. I would know. Ooh, what's that? Rainbow Edge. Name that game reference. Are the cosmetics going to be limited by amount? If I buy one armor look, can I have multiple characters at the same time? I'm pretty sure that it is the same as like the backpack is now. Like once you not everyone has that, I know, sorry, but like it's like the items on your account, not the character. So as far as I'm aware, and I really hope I'm not wrong about this. As far as I'm aware, once you've bought that armor look, you've got that armor look, and you can put it on multiple characters. I'd really like confirmation from someone higher up than me to that, or with more knowledge on the system at least. But I'm pretty sure that's the way it is. I'd be pretty surprised otherwise, because there's no as the person who built the UI for this, there's no quantity value for the number of times you own an NCX, and you can't buy it twice. Yeah, there's the UI stops you from even trying to buy it twice, and the backend system will stop you from buying it a second time. So yeah, it must be able to be equipped multiple times. All right. Any potential spear-specific functionality we could hope for in updates to existing masteries or for upcoming ones? Spears aren't a major component in... just leaning on my elbow with not even hand on the keyboard. Spears are not a significant element of upcoming interesting content. Yes. Apparently we're crafting a lot this time. Yes. Actually, stun chance is not terrible, but I'd rather have a little bit of ignite in there. And we shatter the old one. Actually got exactly the shards I wanted out of it. That's nice. Let's see. Flip that back. How does the left click ability work? Does it only trigger when hovering over an enemy? Yes. So if you notice, I'm just gonna left click, and so I'm still just left clicking. This is all just left clicking. But I'm gonna use meteor a bunch here and flame ward so I don't just die. I'm gonna get out of there so I don't just die. Okay, now I'm right clicking because that's my apparently what my brain does automatically. Yeah, I'm like a hard move only person. Just gotta do it. All right. Was there a noticeable spike in player numbers following D4 betas? Any concern of a mass exodus once D4 launches in a few weeks? No, I think that a lot of people who like to play ARPGs like to play ARPGs and not just like to play like Diablo and will play something to tide them over in the meantime. And like yes, there are some people that are like that, but I think that there's a very significant portion of the of ARPG players that will be interested and excited to play multiple games, and maybe haven't been in a position where there were multiple games that drew their attention simultaneously before. But no, I'm not worried. If anything, I think that so yeah, you can pretty clearly go to the Steam charts and look at like the player numbers before and after D4 betas and things like that. And I think that the like D4 launching is going to be actually in a weird way good for us. Like I know it sounds kind of backwards, but I do. Right. How are the cosmetics going to affect skill that modify damage type? We don't have any skill cosmetics coming in the first round, so they won't initially. But for the future, if I have a pyromancer on my skeleton, mages, could my cosmetic override that default modification for the skill? Visually, yes. Functionally, no. Why are you guys so good in community communications and big AAA companies aren't? Because they pay me way less. No. I think that there's a lot of it just comes from how we started the company, and like how this has been just such a key part of our development process for so long. And I think that's really what it comes down to, is just how it's such a core part of an expected part of our development process. And we have a very vocal, very active community, and it's wonderful. And I think it's still at a size where it's more manageable. Like Diablo has a significantly larger enfranchised community of players. Like it's just a fact, right? And I think it might be there might be something that happens when communities get large enough that it no longer becomes feasible to really have as good of an engagement percentage, that sort of thing. But I don't know. Alternative answer: we're just so awesome. All right. Velatria's staff is bugged right now. Oh no, I was gonna play with that. So it's both normal and lightning meteor when you cast meteor. Oh, that's not good. Make a build with it quick before it gets fixed. I mean, that's the plan, right? Estimate number of new uniques for 0.91. 5, 10, 15, 20? I have no knowledge because they are not created yet. I can tell you exactly the details of every single unique item that I know is coming in 0.91 right now. You ready? Done. I just have no idea. With the left click spell, will there be a standstill while casting attack button? Yeah, I'll double check, make sure this works. But yeah, so I'm now holding shift and left click. I got my index finger on my left hand on my left shift button, and my index finger on my right hand on my left click button, and that's all I'm touching right now. And we are spamming Lightning Blast into the air. Also, we got our 4th slot, right? Right? It's Meteor, right? It's got to be Meteor. We're going this way, right? Right? It's just a thing. Yeah, feels good. Wait, you get paid for this? I mean, technically, I think yes. I don't know. I just work on the game at every second chance that I'm awake, and because I can't help but do it, you know. So this is a long shot. Stay on the interview on Ziz's channel. I mentioned that the Primalist Ice Storms is going away. Yes, we've been saying that for years though, so that's not new info. What skill will be replaced with? What skill will it be replaced with? Just the idea of a new skill, if possible. Yeah. So it's not happening this patch. It will be replaced. I don't know if I can say the name of the skill. There's a new skill coming that's going to replace it. It's kind of going to simultaneously be replacing Tempest Strike and Ice Thorns at the same time in a weird way. And then there's a bit of a shuffle that's happening. But yeah, there's a new skill coming there. I can't talk about it though. I'm pretty sure it's a melee. Well, it's kind of a melee skill. There's no info on it yet. Sorry. Earlier, let's get to the subtitle. She Photon. Thank you very much. It's one of our staff. Don't forget to put that Last Epoch game in the question. I think I just saw one that didn't have that all answered anyways. Are you able to speak about the vision for the Rune Master's general archetype gameplay loop, or is that still too far out? Yeah, I don't think I should really talk about it much, just because I think that's the sort of thing that we'll want to like really have the language for be clear and finalized by people who are more intentionally being really ineloquent right now on purpose. Anyways, I think that it will be. I can say a little bit about it. It'll still be a mage base. You're still a caster, right? Like you're someone who is you're studying and you're focusing on intelligence still. You know, like you're still crafting spells through arcane knowledge. This is not some major paradigm shift from a thematic standpoint. Possibly a little bit more zealous than the average sorcerer on that front, but nothing. Like you're still clearly rooted in a mage as the thematics. Complexity is a little bit higher in general. There's a lot of options, and whatever you just thought of, I guarantee there's more. Oh my goodness. This is bonkers. Just thank you. Glad that AoE didn't scale up. The Velocious bugs only visual, no need to panic. Yeah, I assumed as much. When will we get more information on what's coming the 25th? I don't have an exact date on exactly when things are happening, but so we got 3 weeks until the patch. Well, almost 2 weeks and 6 days.
Don't ask her about the diamond matrons. You'll regret it.
And like I don't know when do we usually start teasing stuff? 2 weeks out? Then we usually start like hard teasing stuff. Maybe 1 week out. That'll be a little bit of time. Whoa, that was a big one. Morto Del Mar! Thank you very much. Oh, and Arrow Weird also went to Ishi Jared. Thank you very much, people. Oh, that's fantastic. 5 gift subs channel. Congrats to anyone who got one of those. Hope you're all having fun, enjoying yourself, hanging out. Thank you very much. Is this the meta build you're running? I am mucking about, having some fun, and putting points into whatever I feel like. We don't get bogged down with quality builds here or high powered gameplay. Ugh. So sometimes I do, but no, I'm just having some fun. The mana cost is getting high. I find that I'm too distracted by chat to give any sort of reasonably decent and consistent gameplay. So I don't put any pressure on that for myself.
3. No, when she told me it'd take the courage of a Ruby Nagasa, I didn't expect this. It's one step closer to giving her a piece of my mind.
Any plans on expanding endgame content horizontally? Oh yeah. Is it entirely new systems alongside Monolith and dungeons? Or do you guys plan on expanding the Monolith system more before 1.0? I would say we'll see vertical expansion to the Monolith for 1.0 and horizontal expansion, for the Monolith, but vertical expansion for the endgame systems at 1.0 and horizontal expansions for the endgame systems post 1.0 and vertical as well. So like you'll get both. So you'll see the 1.0 will launch with the core endgame systems being what they are now. So you'll have monoliths, dungeons, arenas, and that's about it as far as like overarching core endgame systems. We do want to. We don't think that the Monolith is quite at, or the dungeons really for that matter, are quite at a stage where they are 1.0 ready yet. So we're still going to be expanding the content that's there, the types of things that show up. And this is where usually I give the example of a treasure goblin as the type of the style of content that we are looking to add to the Monolith and things like that to make it less expected, more interesting, and that sort of stuff. And we do have plans for new endgame content systems that will start to show up, but we'd prefer to have fewer higher quality systems at launch than
Greetings.
more lower quality systems at launch. Yeah, that's the right. Just slap it in that lightning. We're going lightning. You complete the skill name with that death. I don't remember what the skill name is. I'm sorry. It's not made yet. Any new skills coming with 0.91? I don't think there's any new skills coming with 0.91. Maybe. We've got to make there's so many new skills being made for the masteries. So many. I don't know, one of them might have squeaked in, but I don't think so. I'd love to slap one in. Take a week. I could do it. There's too many other things got to get done. Oh my goodness. I just got told no. That was fast. Who's your favorite content creator that covers this game? Oh, that's so hard. I don't know. I'm not gonna answer that. I have a lot that I really like. There's a lot that I really like, and I'm just like, the list is so high. Like, I feel the problem is that there's so many that I really like, and there's so many that like make content less frequently that I really like as well, and I kind of forget about them until like another video for us pops up. So there's a lot of people that do make very regular content for Epoch, and like those get stuck in my mind, and then there's other ones that make infrequent Epoch content that I also really like that I forget about sometimes, just because I forget about things. Yeah. I was like, I'll do a top 10. I'm not gonna do a top 10 because there's more of that I can think of that I like. We have fantastic content creators. Alright. From previous streams, should I be able to assume that the new glyph for changing shard types... should I be able to assume that the new glyph is for changing shard types at a loss? No. No, that wouldn't really work, would it? I don't think you could do that as a glyph. Yeah, there need to be some pretty big changes. Sorry, I don't think you even could do that. Was this game inspired by games like Chrono Trigger? I don't know. What do you think? I don't know. What do you think? And the person who stands right here, his name's Gaspar. And oh, I can never find it. Oh. I don't know where it is. There's a sweet little Chrono Trigger reference in the Ruined Era map, and I do not know where it is off the top of my head. It's like, I'm pretty sure it's like surprisingly small. Like, you gotta zoom in to see it. If anyone knows where it is, tell me, like, it's near this or near that, or above this or above that. If you know what I'm talking about. Yes, it was definitely inspired by Chrono Trigger. Also, the Epoch is the name of the ship in Chrono Trigger. Need more Endgame. Yes, we need better Endgame. And more. More betterer. We need more, better, and more better Endgame. All three of those things necessary. I also wanted to say I really like Dev Stream, thank you, and the openness on interviews. You guys doing a great game, and I'm very glad to be here to see the evolution. Yeah, it's kind of wild, eh? Like, you know, like I follow development of lots of games, and following it on that journey from, like, if you've been around from like Kickstarter days or like even before, very unlikely, but seeing that evolution, I always think is really cool. I love it. Suggestion warning. All right, go to the forums. I think something like a chance of having a side area like a time rift that leads to a rare mini boss. You could drop some rare, even exclusive loot. Feel really fun. I agree. I think that's a fantastic type of content. I'd really love to see that type of zone be randomized. Have it be like a random zone, so you don't, like, you go in and you don't know exactly how it's gonna be, to do like a little mini explore to get through it, with no like pings or anything like that where to go. I think that'd be sweet. Good to know the new glyph is not for changing shards. There's still things to wonder about it. Yeah. Like, it's so outside the box that I guarantee no one will think of it. Even though I almost said it on stream once. I'm sure it has been asked in previous streams, will there be an idle crafting element for after 1.0? I think there's a good chance of that. I think it would probably come in the form of a dungeon reward, likely. But maybe not. Meteor Shower is so nice, and like our character is finally starting to feel a little more awesomer. You know, it's getting there. Oh, it's getting there. That mana efficiency might be nice, but like, I mean, we gotta get there, right? I don't need that as much. We need this. More meteors! Okay, we're just gonna chuck a bunch of these catalysts down, even though they're probably awesome. Resist fire damage. Yeah, right. All right. Is there going to be any changes to Flame Reave spell? I don't really see any viable build. I mean, unless something's changed pretty dramatically, there's been some really good viable Flame Reave builds that have come through the pipe. I want to go this way. I want to go that way. Come on, look through there. Yeah. All right, fine. The flame. I don't know if there's any changes to Flame Reave going through. Sorry. We do a lot of the balancing stuff. A lot of the items, unique items and balancing and like minor skill changes and things like that happens really close to the patch date, which I know sounds crazy, but like a lot of that happens really late in the patch cycle. And we're late in the patch cycle. We're not really late in the patch cycle yet. Yeah, I think there's one that uses Firebrand to kick some butt. Should we expect that the Falcon uniqueness is that it cannot die, or that it can equip items? I'm not gonna answer something so specific on it. Is the new glyph a rare one like Despair? I don't know how rare it's gonna be. I think it'll be pretty rare. Probably not crazy rare though. But it won't be anything like Despair. Like, functionality-wise, at least. Not even remotely close. This is like try and figure out what the new glyph is 20 questions. Good luck. Let's just focus here. There we go. Use flame ward to kill him. Are we gonna have an official cast on type in game so we don't have to reset it back when we tab out of the game or die? Oh, this is numlock trick. This is yeah. I don't know. We've always viewed skills that are frequently auto-casted as a failure of the skill design itself, and have struggled very hard to remedy that. I personally am starting to get to the point a little bit of maybe we just add it. But I don't know. Will the new glyph make... Oh, it's scrolling on me automatically. Will the new glyph make base types... Stop scrolling on me! Will the new glyph make base types superior like Diablo 2 style? No, we don't have any concept of a superior base type in the game. And we're not planning on adding it. I'll say it again. None of the suggestions or hints about or questions about the glyph that I'm talking about are even anywhere in the right ballpark, even close at all, even a tiny bit. So, yeah. Can the new glyph fit in a bread box? Why, yes it can. Understand not answering about the Falcon. Hopefully you can hopefully you can blame a guy for trying to get a bit more info. I don't want to blame you though. Yeah, no, I understand. I just the reason I'm like answering questions about the glyph is because I know no one's gonna come even remotely close, but I'm just not gonna answer stuff with the Falcon because I know people will get close. That's all. If the glyph entered a beauty contest, how high would it score? Well, assuming that all the other entries in the beauty contest were glyphs, it would get very high marks for uniqueness, but probably wouldn't get very high marks for power. So I would say medium-low. But I promise you're going to love it. And be crazy confused. Because I don't know if I still understand it all the way either. New glyph that adds sockets to items. I mean, like, so no, but also, like, let's describe a socket for a second. Let's describe a socket for a second. A socket is an empty slot on an item which another item can be placed in to have the effects of that item applied to the first one. It was actually a sweet set of boots that I just like ruined. Oh, Mike, you're an idiot. Anyways, I mean, didn't ruin them that hard. I do love mana. I like some boots here. I mean, got horrible luck with that crafting, but still an upgrade somehow. No, the glyph does not add sockets. A socket system, we would like to add a socket system to the game for items. It's going to need to be another unique style of mechanic. We're gonna need to find some interesting way to take that classic concept of a socketed item and kind of turn it on its head a little bit and make some interesting adjustments to it. Yes, you're a giant worm and you move so slowly. I mean, there is, but just possibly not by me, because I'm terrible. Yeah, probably. I really hope you guys can hear the voice lines too, or else I'm just like talking to myself. One time in grade 4, I got every single question on a spelling test wrong. Not that type of secret? Okay. I'm sure everyone is screaming into the computer to try and help me, but they know I won't take it. Yes. I believe it. Okay, I got a good question going. We'll do this. There are ways to via gaming device, virtual keyboards. Oh, this is in response to please add numlock built in. There are ways to do it via gaming mice and virtual keyboards, etc., but are all a little flawed. So people who want to do it anyways, just be nice to have a smooth experience with it built in. Yeah, the problem is that like, what if we fixed the game so no one wanted to do it? Isn't that even better? I'm sure we'll never see you again. Actually, a terrible base. And then, unfortunately, that's kind of how I feel about it too. At this point, would you feel okay to turn them into auras instead? For example, tornado just being aura instead of cast would solve the numlock thing. Also, make it balanced by disabling on-cast bonuses. Yes, I know forums. Yes, forums. But does this tech exist? Yes, it does exist. The problem is though is that you've just described Maelstrom basically, you know, and so a lot of the thematics come from like mechanics can influence thematics. All right. Oh, we're way over time. I have to go. I have to go. Let's hammer out some questions. See if there's any questions real quick. Yeah. New glyph. Infuse set resonance. No. That'd be cool though. You have to like that kind of requires 2 items, right? Unless I like not understanding the idea there. But like still so far away from the what it's gonna be, not even remotely close. Lowers tier increases FP, not even remotely close. More like Diablo 2 PoE with sockets. I think that the socket system that we end up implementing will actually be kind of closer to PoE in the sense that Diablo 2 socket system is basically our just crafting system. So like we want to be away from our crafting system a little bit with some sort of potential socket system. So it's going to end up being closer to PoE socket system just because it's not that typical. I'm going to say Diablo 2 is more typical. Not in a bad way. It's actually really fantastic. Have you guys ever thought about having combat output in the chat tab window? Absolutely. Not going to happen. Does the new glyph add corruption mod? No. Is the new glyph a double corrupt? No. Also, corruption's already a system we have in our monolith. And still so far away from it, guys. Not even remotely close. Hi, Mike. Hope all is well. Think what you could... Words. What do you think about LE characters holding scepters in their right hand instead close to the middle visually? Holding scepters right on the end. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like the church, like proper ways to hold scepters and stuff like this. I don't know. I do not know enough about how you're supposed to do it. Sorry. All right. Does the new glyph have anything to do with visuals of items? No, it does not. All right. We're gonna call it there for the day. Thanks for coming by, everybody. I had a ton of fun. I hope you did too. I'll be here same time, same place next week to answer more of your questions. If I missed your question and you'd still like to ask it in the meantime, please head on over to our Discord. We've got an Ask the Devs channel. Lots of great questions and answers in there. There's also an Ask the Community channel where there are extremely knowledgeable people answering questions all the time. They'll may even be able to help you more than I will. There's also forums, Reddit, Discord, other places. Lots of fun. Lots of fun stuff to happen all over the place, eh? And I have it on pretty decent authority that there's some giveaways happening over on this channel we're going to go say hi to. I don't know what's being given away. I'm assuming something, though, because it says giveaway on the title. New glyph sets the affix max roll. Nope, and still way off base. Not even remotely close. Not even the same ballpark. All right, that's it for me. See you next time. Have a good day, everybody, and have fun.